Hello and welcome into the Sorare Data Show. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined today by Keith Jameson, GatorGuy231, to talk about something that I was like, I think this is insulting. And Keith's like, I'm insulted that you even think that's an insult. What's up, Keith?
I got just before all the Lairdinho jokes, I even clicked the chat. It is my fault. My childcare just walked through the door as the intro was going in. So
this was my favorite from Looking for Food. Only degens are late to their own show. So yeah, it does seem like that. Thanks everyone for coming in. Sorare Juju first. This is 100% my topic. Sadly, I need to go to the dentist 30 minutes before you start, which is really a bummer. But I like this. Anyway, DEGENing is a manifestation of a creative mind. It is a skill. Toby, DEGENing is fun and looking for food on the podium. Congratulations. Peter, thanks for coming in. Nothing beats DEGENing that like button. Yeah, please. Likes are always appreciated. Nemesis,
hopefully we have two buttons. Hopefully we have two buttons at some point. Just saying.
Just saying. Major NFT, DEGENs unite. I have so much to say, Keith, so I'm just gonna we'll get there. Smooth Boy, good morning from Rivals Division 4 winner awaiting a star limited. Wow, that's who knew.
I mean, I hope you're okay with 5 tickets, Smooth Boy.
Sora Andre, what's up? Mikey Baston, I was just talking about you a minute ago. Maybe it was 3 minutes ago. Sora Deek, more of an addiction than a skill for me. That's probably the case for a lot of people. Ian, what's up? Tom says, if DEGENing is a skill, can I put it on my CV? I seem to be very experienced in it. Which, yeah, why not? Why not? Depends where you're trying to get a job. Malky, what's up? Haber says, this show is for me. We'll get into it. I actually don't
consider... wants to back-to-back. He wants back-to-back shows. He's like, whoa, I wanted this topic.
Maybe, yeah. Paolo, what's up? Jay Blaze, thanks for coming in. Adriano, Google has a certification for this. G-Woms, in terms of crafting cards, what if we could craft old season cards? They didn't use all the supply and hard to get those collection scores up. Absolutely not. That's how I feel. Philly Dilly, what's up? Here for the DEGENing. So we're deep. Pants on. Well done, Keith. Bold strategy, standing up and going to the window. He's not Jimmer. Come on, guys. Anyway, Ben Johnson, what's up? Root Course finally catching one of these live. Thank you for coming in. Smooth Boy, thanks. I just got 5 more tickets.
You know why that happened, right? It's because I'm here and somebody tried to open a box. There's nothing. Well,
hearing your voice and the computer was like, oh wait, Keith's here. Yeah. Charlie said real streamers don't wear pants at their desks. That's why you never see Laird stand up. I think I stood up the other day.
You did to go grab some sort of hat or something.
Hat. Yeah.
I mean, I just listened, so I couldn't tell if you were just ducking down the whole time.
I'm wearing shorts today, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Short season. Sour Turkey, why are you guys on so early? Sometimes we just got to mix it up. That's why. Gavin, what's up? Red or Dead 69. Thanks for coming in. It's Haber. I had to teach old man Laird about Essence, and Keith gets to talk about DEGEN. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben said, oh my God, it was the deadline. My Sunday first draft teams have been submitted.
The degenerate thing to do. Put them in on a Sunday.
Mike said, when you said your childcare ride, did they arrive legally, or is that why you closed the blinds? Anyway, firstly, the use of the term DEGEN clearly is a compliment in this community, as so many people here are so thankful for considering themselves to be DEGENs. And when I told Keith the topic, he was like, it's not insulting. It's not, he's like, or I'm just insulting a lot of people. And I was like, I think in real life, for somebody to be considered a degenerate is probably not great. And we kind of use it very jokingly in this community. And I'm going to do that again today. Don't worry about it. But basically what has transpired in the community over the last few days, and it has nothing to do with Essence, don't worry. In terms of people getting ready for they're getting their lineups ready for matches, for a game week that includes international friendlies ahead of 2 very big continental tournaments that like we have no idea what we're doing. We think we know who's going to play, but we don't know. We don't know how long they're going to play. And everyone's like, I got to get me some cards. And it's that like degen nature of like, I need a lineup. What can I do? And there's kind of this, it's not even like an unspoken topic, but it's one that we don't really focus on a lot because there are lots of people who, you know, they'll buy cards in the off season because they're cheaper and then they'll play them later. And we kind of talk about, well, yeah, like if you use your funds for later, like, yeah, it's cheaper, but you can't play now. And we've also discussed kind of the nature of the market when it somewhat acts rationally, where towards the end of the season when utility is down, like European card, like around this time, European cards get cheaper and like MLS and J League and K League kind of pick up because you can play. And I was kind of curious, Keith, what you thought about this. And for everyone who's listening to me kind of break all this down, Keith and I have not discussed this yet. I told Keith the topic and I was like, do you want me to tell you what I mean about all of this? And he was like, do you want like my initial response? And I was like, you're right. That's probably better. So like Keith is in the dark as much as you guys are, but we basically always want to play Sorare. Like we want to have line. And how much of it is skill to kind of just make sure you always have a lineup? And I don't mean in the nature of like just depositing once a month so that you can like make sure you always have cards, but surely it's a skill to essentially deposit some amount of money, buy some cards, and figure out how to play the game so that you're just always playing.
So kind of you're saying it's actually a skill to not degenerate too much so that you have more left than a month when you need to deposit.
So maybe. So the way that I have been trying to make sense of this is I kind of compared it to the way that I played DFS, that I was never that good, but I was good enough to keep playing. And I think as much as we don't want to admit it, we're at a point in Sorare where we're not all just coming in and getting filthy rich. And that just being able to continue playing and to continue like competing every week is kind of a level of success if you don't have to just keep depositing over and over again. And so if you have whatever money you've put into this game and you're able to use those resources to either win cash to then buy cards or win cards, sell them or trade them or whatever it is, but allowing you to use the resources that you have to then constantly play. So I'll bring up Tuggy. And I don't really, I think this is kind of an extreme example, to be honest, but it is an example that like Tuggy had a very clear plan of what he was going to do with the J League special.
Absolutely.
And then he won it. And then he was confronted with like the most dangerous situation possible of Sorare, of having like a huge balance and no real plan. However, and so then he was like, hey, I think I'm going to buy a lineup for this and I'll buy a lineup for that. And like,
hold on. Whoa. You just were way too nice to Tuggy, who I love to death. That was not the first horrible, horrific, degenerate thing he said. Do you remember what the first thing he said was, I think I'm going to finish out this Osaka super rare collection. I'm going to buy.
So yeah, that is a really bad one. Sanfred, it was, yeah. He was like, I think I'm going to just
finish. It was the Osaka.
It wasn't the Osaka one. You're right.
Okay. So just context on this.
Yes,
Tuggy is, and we'll give him credit on the show. I think it's fair to call him the number one Sanfrecce collector. He has like the full rare set done. I think he has a full super rare set done, or really close to like an older season. Pretty sure he does.
2 full rare ones.
I think it's just one, but regardless, like
Yeah.
he has a lot, Stanford. And so part of his plan that he nailed, like if anybody doesn't know, it's like he won super rare J League special final week.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. And he bought specifically, he bought there we go. See?
Like, 2 rare complete sets.
And 14 of 16 in super rare, which is crazy high too.
Yeah.
But he bought a Lucas Fernandez super rare just for the competition. Like, saw it on the market. He's like, I think he's really good. I see his matchup. I'm going to buy that up. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Because I think you're not giving him enough credit. You made it sound like he saw the card and was like, I'll buy that. But like, he was already like a Lucas Fernandez stan. Like,
absolutely. But then he specifically saw the super rare auction. And he's like, and it was like weeks before the competition, but we knew the competition was out. Yes. And he's like, I'm buying this card just for this competition because it was new season. Otherwise, he would have gone after old season, matching up with his show and Ozako, all that good stuff. So he won it. And I think afterward, or was it for the competition that he bought the striker? Was that? No, because Usami did well for him. So yeah, it was after the competition.
It was after. Yeah,
he bought
something like that.
Sierra was like one of his rewards, which made sense to have like a new season contender with that gallery. You had Lucas, that works. But then the degen, that little, you know, what do they call it? The little devil? Let's just call it a little degenerate that's on your side. It's like, you could, I think there was like 4 more never playing guys, super rares from Ozako on the market. He's like,
they were the one.
I could just swoop these up and my collector score will go.
However, shouldn't we be celebrating that?
So that's where I was wondering if this whole show was going to go. Is it a celebration, or do we all? He did get a little bit of money out. Probably not what he put in, but.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But that's what I actually want to know. Are we? Is this a show that afterwards we're telling everybody that you might need professional help, or are we just going to celebrate? Because I'm personally here for the celebration.
So before we go any further, this is not financial advice. This is barely strategy advice, to be honest. So please don't think that this is going to be helpful. Literally, the word degen is in the title of this show. But so to go back to what I was saying before, just because I kind of want to reiterate this, that I think if you are able to play this game forever without depositing again, you're winning.
Hold on. Can I caveat that?
Sure.
So Haber dropped the line yesterday about life savings. We know some people that are in very, very high. But is there a scalability? If you put in a lot of money, and you never have to deposit again, is that a win? Or is it like, I only put in $5,000. I only cleaned out one 529 account for the kids for this. Is that a win?
I think you need to, at some monetary level, and again, like a lot of money for some people is not a lot of money for others. So I don't even want to say that, like, yeah, if you put in more than $1,000, like, or whatever the number is. So I'm not going to do that.
Do you know what I think it should be? If the money that is in the site that you put in for your deposits and that you enjoyed, and you're like, if that goes away, I'll be sad, because I heard Andy Black say this one time, and I thought it was the best. It was like when we were in one of the dips, and he was like, I think you literally asked him something along the lines of, if this goes to zero, because Andy Black has a huge gallery, like plenty of money in there. And he's like, I think I'll just be sad. I'll be really sad to miss it. And I think if you're at that point where you're more sad about the game being gone than the money, I think you're probably in a good place, like where your financial amount in there is a good spot. Yeah,
no, I think that's a great way to put it. But I don't think enough, that's not fair for me to say, but I think being able to continue playing the game, which is a game that a lot of us really like. And I appreciate that there are some people who play this game because they feel like they need to make enough money to get out. And that's not like that doesn't feel like the healthiest thing, but also you do you, whoever that is. But Ben here agrees. If Sorare went under, I'd be more upset about not being able to play than the money, which I think is the right way to think about it. Now, that's not to say that we are playing this game just to play it. Obviously, we want to make money doing it, because making money in this game is kind of how you know you're doing well.
And
in
it's
the
also
game.
fun. And it's fun.
And it's fun, right? And so the degening part of it is like, I basically don't have a lineup for this midweek. Like I submitted one because I happen to have 5 players that are on international rosters, but the number of people I've seen, and I feel bad. I actually don't feel bad about this, but Toby's going to try to make me feel bad. So Toby was like, hey, there are a few guys from like Panama or Haiti or whatever. He's like, should I just buy them? And I was like, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like a great idea. What are you going to do with them? Keep in mind, I sold them.
Play them. Win with them.
Right. So like, but I think that there is a legitimate skill in this game of figuring out how to always have lineups. And it's not as simple as like, yeah, just have a billion cards. Like Sean always has lineups because he's got 2,000 cards.
Right.
Like
Nanzo,
that's not
Surface.
Right.
All these huge galleries. Like, they're skillful players.
Absolutely.
Don't take us wrong, guys. But having the lineup there with that many cards, not really a skill.
Right.
So I have a question.
Sure.
I'm gonna get us off the track in terms of more degenerate. How much of a skill is it to not only, like what you're saying, make sure that you have a lineup, but to have I'm gonna call it the courage to make the buy X number of minutes before the deadline, because you're like, I'm only 1 card away, 2 cards away. Oh, if I move this lineup out of All-Star and to cap 220, now I can just buy a limited of that card. Maybe I'm actually being financially savvy and looking at like the more affordable options. So I go to limited. No.
So I'm going to answer this question after I make it clear to everyone that Keith bought a card 19 minutes before the deadline and is looking for us to justify it.
Hold on. Let's see where it's at now. Was it 19 minutes before the deadline?
Yes.
Yeah, 39 minutes ago.
18 minutes and 55 seconds to be exact.
39 minutes ago, baby.
Before I answer that question, to show how powerful this show is, Haber literally just tweeted that he was inspired by us talking about degening and just
oh, hell yeah. Oh, great job buying a bench player for the Galaxy. That is a sexy card.
That was not the point of this show. In fact, I would argue that's the opposite of degening. This guy's not going to play for months. Anyway, but great buy.
Might be a little bit too good to be a degen.
What's that?
No, I said, so is there a skill level on degen? Is he maybe a little bit too good? Because is it really degening if the guy ends up being like a top 5 player?
Right.
Or is that just like a good buy, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe.
Okay,
Mike said if you're buying for 220, you're never financially savvy.
Nobody's asking. This is not a show about financial advice. This is a support session.
No. I'm not. I am absolutely not here to make anyone feel better about their degening. I'm here to say that they're actually not even degening.
Oh,
they're so
okay.
good
Yes,
at it.
okay.
This is skillful work we're doing.
Yeah, it's part of the Sorare skill pyramid. Where's bitching on that?
Mike said buying players for this game week is literally like gambling, as you may never use them again.
Hold on. Ben likes the 220 team, baby. Let's go, Ben. Let's go.
So this is where we start to get serious here, Keith. Adriano says, how do you improve your team without depositing more and you're not winning enough? Like you've hit a ceiling kind of. This is what bots are for. Or traders. Like Keith and I talk about this all the time, that like I hate buying cards but I love trading. Like I spend
You
so
do.
much time on trades that never go through.
And I hate trading.
Yeah. Like that's how you do it.
I would rather just buy it.
In fact, I would even argue that not winning enough, meaning if you're not winning cash to buy cards or you're not winning cards that you can sell and then buy cards you want, there is a skill in turning the cards that you have into better cards that can help you later, or that can at least just get you a lineup.
So that's actually like, we're getting like too serious and too actual good advice now. But
no,
I agree completely.
Full disclosure, that's where I wanted this to go. I think this is like a real conversation.
Yeah, that's fine. Gotta get that alcohol that I drank beforehand out. No.
Yeah.
But no, but like I remember like as I was building my gallery up, and obviously like completely different time, like, you know, values were very much on the ascent, whereas right now, you know, sometimes stabilization feels really good. But like that actually was a skill when you had like I mean, like Night in Season, right? You know, we did Sorare Andrews on that way back when. Like that was a skill. I've seen people stack stuff up for these international breaks, being like, you don't know that you want. I think somebody mentioned Murik. You don't know that you want X layout backup goaltender on a 0 that never plays, but he's really good on he's locked in for his national team, and they have Suriname and whoever else Japan is playing this. I don't know if you saw it. Japan's playing like Iran and I think Suriname or something like this.
Ito's not there. That's why.
I hope Endo is. I didn't check that. That's also a skill, is just pressing buy on the guy and not actually doing any research and just hoping that he shows up.
Or Gazdag season.
But no. So I say all that. I was like, okay, so sorry, I got off the rails there. But you used to be able to like look and go, okay, I have this pile of shit in my gallery that has some value to it, but probably not much value that somebody else is going to derive. Like that's like one of the my biggest ahas as we've had so many cards on the platform and it's getting harder to sell guys, is that like older players that have been on the platform for a while, we're used to a time that you put a card on the market, and because it's on the market and because it's for sale, and maybe you priced it a little bit under what the last couple sales are, somebody's going to buy it. That does not occur anymore. Like you could have a good player, but if there's not a reason for somebody to get that card, you could price it as low as you want, and you might not get offers. Like I have this, I want as a tier 2, Harris Tabakovic. I don't know what a Harris Tabakovic is. I guess he's actually a really good player in the second Bundesliga. Like his scores are great.
Was he I think he was in Austria.
It says second Bundesliga on Hertha.
No. Before that.
I have no idea. I haven't looked into this guy because I'm like, I have no need for Harris Tabakovic. You got it? Nailed
Austrian.
But like show his scores. Show his scores real quick. He's not bad. He's fine.
Yeah.
For a forward, like I posted him for a full week, 25% under the last auction, not one offer. And my point being there is that would never happen in the 2 years ago. But here we are now. Like that guy needs. So what I used to do, I don't do anymore. And what you should do if like you're layered here and you're saying you like to trade, you take a Harris Tabakovic and like what his value was. The bot is probably likely to give you on a trade, what? 60% of his value, 65% of his value at best. And maybe if you're doing cards, you get a little bit more. But maybe you do this a week ahead of time and you go, hey, Basil has a Muric, rare or limited, and I can put this together and this together. I can get there. Yeah, I'm taking a haircut on the bot, but I think that there might be a little bit of an ascent coming on Muric when he has utility. And I know people are actually going to want him because he's starting in a smaller midweek. So, like, to me, I think there's some people that call like working with bots degenerate, but that's smartly using a bot and getting out of cards that you would otherwise just bury in your gallery and you maybe use 2 times in the next coming year. If you're just like that card for me, I maybe see like a couple times that I might be using that card. It's not going to be often.
I wanted to go back to a comment earlier because Paolo made this really good point, but then actually I feel I contradicted it later. So hold on. But Paolo said, I bought Euro cards mid-season when the new game mode was announced. I've played in season, sold everyone now, and I'm playing MLS. And I discovered some are El Salvador, Guatemala too. Always playing, baby. Like that's exactly what I mean. Is selling cards, like selling your European cards, buying MLS so that you can keep playing in the summer. And I'm guessing Paolo will love to sell those MLS cards in August and September, buy some Euro cards to keep playing. But then I think what he said later is actually the opposite. It says the skill is to plan ahead and react quickly to game changes. Planning ahead
is not what you just did.
Is not right. Like, but I think
but that is a skill.
Is the optimal path to degenerate buys, or that look like it,
right?
But obviously that.
So
it's a skill, but it looks like degeneracy. If that
night in season is literally what you just talked about, because like I didn't really even know. I don't think I knew Andy really much at all before that. And I don't know if you told him or somebody told him. And people see my gallery and I have like 11 Brad Knightons.
Yeah.
And Andy, I can't remember if he DM'd or tweeted me. He's like, "All right, dude, like, what's the deal with the Knighton stuff?" And I'm like, "Oh, you didn't know when that they announced this is like a long this."
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you need to like tell the whole thing because nobody here knows what Knighton season is. At this point. It's been a long time.
Feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
But okay, so Brad Knighton season. I'll try to make it really quick. He is the former backup goalkeeper for the New England Revolution when Matt Turner was the goalkeeper. This is long enough ago, too. Matt Turner was not the locked-in number 1 for the USA men's national teams. It was Zach Steffen at the time.
Yes.
Until Zach Steffen decided he didn't want to play football anymore.
Yeah, he didn't want to play anymore.
So there was a Gold Cup, and Sorare, I don't think, covered it, right? We did not cover the Gold Cup that year, or did we? Not sure. Doesn't actually matter for the story. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
But there was a
That's
Gold
the best
Cup.
part. That part doesn't even matter.
Don't worry about the Gold Cup. It's not that much planning. But Berhalter had come out when the Gold Cup, or right before the Gold Cup was announced, because that was the key. You had to be before. And he's like, "Hey, we had one other tournament. That's where the number 1s are going to go. We're going to send the backups to get starting role here." Well, all of a sudden you looked at the stuff and it was obvious who the goalkeeper is going to be. Matt Turner was the reigning, I think, Golden Glove winner in the MLS. He had just gotten one shot at it. And like you could read in the comments and it was like, "Oh, by the way, Matt Turner, this is Matt Turner's time to shine." And he hasn't given the job back. So they're going to be gone for six game weeks. Who's about to start in? Oh, New England's at home to Toronto to start. Brad Knighton, baby. So I bought like 11 of them. And this is, prices were much higher. Goalkeepers were really hard to get. And that ended up funding my whole gallery. I made over half of an ETH in profit from just buying and selling Brad Knightons.
Did that include a super rare?
I did.
Was it the first super rare you ever bought?
Yeah. Don't want to go that far. But I mean, I let's put it this way. There was no intention of buying. No. I bought a Jeff Attinella super rare. It was the first ever super rare I bought. Wow. And that was one I didn't know. I was so early on. I didn't know you couldn't play super rares and rare.
Yeah. So this is the Brad Knighton chart for his rare card. I don't think there were limiteds back then, right?
No. And I didn't even top off. There was people that but I bought most of these for like 0.015, and we weren't even in cash at the time. We were all ETH, but I was like 0.015, anywhere from like 0.25. I have a spreadsheet somewhere.
You do have a spreadsheet.
You start adding up, and Goes quick. Even bought some more because the craziest thing, if we want to go down memory road, is the Toronto was terrible at the time. I mean, not much has changed, but and New England was like, I think that was like one of their Supporter Shield years. So it was like they're one of the best, and the Toronto was one of the worst. And immediately, 15 minutes in, you get the SofaScore notification that New England conceded. And then you watch the highlight, and Brad Knighton is 45 yards away from goal. Still trying to use his hands outside the box, and the guy chips him for like 50-something yards. And then Bruce will read afterwards, like, yeah, we're going to have to evaluate this goalkeeper situation. You're like, oh.
So do you remember how many points Knighton scored in that first game?
8.
12.
Oh, came close.
This is Brad Knighton's career on Sorare. But so it's an interesting thing that you bring up like that. What you were saying before, that like you used to be able to like post cards and like they would sell, or you'd get some sort of offer. And you
would at least get a low ball shitty offer, you know?
Right. So I was thinking about this fairly recently that we're obviously in the summer now, and there are a lot of like potential goalkeeper moves. And there are some situations where you're like, it might be worth the gamble of like, oh, this guy could become a starter somewhere. But the way that the market is and where goalkeepers are priced, it almost doesn't even seem worth it anymore. Like the difference between the price difference between a backup goalkeeper and a starting goalkeeper is so much smaller than it used to be. Like you used to be able to buy backups for like $20 and literally sell them for like $500. And now you're buying them for $8 and selling them for like $20. And
you're still not guaranteed that just because he's starting right now that you don't get out. Like the market is much more savvy. You know, it used to be, we called it the middle finger, right? Yeah. Like all of a sudden, especially, you know, Lister play did not help with that either, because it used to be all those backup goalkeepers for staying on the market. You get the first like 5 minutes of a lineup announcement, and all of a sudden everybody is running to their phones or their computer going, oh my God, I can get this starting goalkeeper for $25 because a starter, like you just said, was $5,000 or something crazy like that, especially like to get threshold, just having a goalkeeper.
This is the Brad Knighton double middle finger.
I don't remember what the second one. I think
the second one's like in January. It's like the beginning of the season.
Oh, you know what that probably was? Turner.
Is that when Turner left
to Arsenal? Bet you that's what it was.
And people thought Knighton would be. Man, we are so dumb. Sorry, we've ignored the chat for a little bit. I want to catch up here. Ben said selling cards to bots is so good. Got rid of my Portland stack to Satonio for 90% of the floor.
Oh, wow.
And bought a Fiorentina stack on the secondary market. Very happy with my decision. That's fun.
That could be termed degenerate. Sell one collection to get another.
And then we're taking a little bit of a negative turn here. Major MT said the hardest thing is sometimes accepting you need to go a rarity down, which Philly Dilly kind of went on top of that, saying if you aren't winning enough and don't want to deposit, you need to narrow your focus, play lower scarcity or fewer comps, and sell to improve those cards, which I don't think is actually that negative after I read.
I don't think that's negative. I think that's like just re-strategizing what you're doing.
Right,
like,
right.
Hey, if
focus
I put in this
degeneracy.
Well, I guess I think reality too is where we're at price-wise. What you need to get a competitive team that could compete for rewards in the division that you're put in, it's not the expensive proposition it once was.
Right.
Or at least comparatively speaking. I don't want to make a judgment on what anybody considers a lot of money or a little bit of money, but comparatively speaking, Sorare a year ago versus Sorare now to get an reward-winning lineup, it's much lower.
Yeah. I think that's right. Pala said degening is kind of a skill if you commit to it, and it is better if you have a plan. Which Sora's Soul, thanks for coming in late in, but I think this might be the ideal show for me.
So I actually think what Paul just said, I kind of have a second to that. I think there's like a good way to like spend the degeneracy. If other people think you're being a degenerate, but you have a plan, you're like 3 steps ahead of them. Because that was like the whole like kind of got the segue of Knighton season. A lot of people thought I was just being really weird and really degenerate, but I actually had a plan, and you just couldn't see the plan.
Do you think that the user base is sharper now?
Yeah. I think you could pull one over on people, so to speak. I mean, that sounds terrible. That sounds horrible. That really does.
You said you can, or you used to be like
you did. You
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You don't really anymore.
I think it was just lazy. Like people were lazier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I think it was pressure though too. I think pressure did that too, specifically at goalkeeper, because for so many people that was like the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Was getting a keeper. And you know, if all of a sudden you had a chance to get one for $150 versus $1,500, like you felt I need to do that. Even if it's for a few weeks. Oh, surely I can get off this guy. It's something like that. And now again, it's just like I remember in my like just MLS wise, like I want to what's the Nashville backup? Panico. And he had shot up for a little bit. People thinking that he was going to take over, and it quickly died down. Like even before Willis came back in the net, people were like, there was one or two people, and people were like, wait, no, this isn't what's happening.
Yeah.
You know.
Paolo was following up. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. I bought Euro cards in March to play in the short term and then sell now. So that's what I mean by planning ahead. So yeah, that makes sense.
So here's another one to it that takes us a little off, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Like that Paulo's discussion earlier about buying Euros, then selling them as soon as they were done for end season. Like there's actually going to be, and I'm thinking I might be doing it, that's going to be a strategy that people think is suboptimal because people don't like selling for losses. And I think the moment that you can accept that the end season is a declining utility game and it's outpacing the depreciation, right? It's I've won enough and I've pocketed enough to outpace the depreciation. And kind of what I was saying last week, if you know that this card is not going to be good enough for classic season, right? Like the name that comes to my head, like right now in my gallery, that I think he's usable for end season and he will not be next year. And I'm going to go at the super rare level is, yes, I should pick an easier name, but I have like Robin Lode and Matthew Chanier, I believe it is, from Montreal.
Like, yeah.
They're both okay players. They really are. And they're a lot better in the new season comp. They are a lot better in the new season comp when there's, and the super rare where there's only like 3 of them, or there's 3 to 4 mints of everybody.
Yeah.
And they're all scattered about. And so as soon as the season's over, I'm going to try to sell those cards. And I'm not expecting to make what I paid for them. If I can get back 50%, I think that's okay. Because I don't think that those two in the classic competition, Lode maybe.
I was going to say, such disrespect from Robin Lode. My God.
There's a lot of luck going on with him right now. Just saying.
Mr. Always gets there.
Always gets the decisive. Even now that he's lost set pieces, he just always ends up getting there. It's kind of like Timothy Tillman. Big regression coming there. I'm curious if Deke responds to that one. But, you know, if you get 50% of that value back, and now you can reinvest that 50% into the next season. And, you know, with those cards, I've won D2 and I've like podium D1. Like I'm good. Like I've made it. But now I can't make it if it's 0. I'm still going to probably be not profitable. But if I get 50% back to the value, my ROI on that, if I'm just going purely monetary game, it's fine.
You would do something differently though if you hadn't won with them? Like, why does that make a difference?
No. I mean, I'm just saying in terms of just like filling out the balance sheets, those buys look good.
Okay. And you made it sound like because you won with them, you're willing to get rid of them at a loss.
But people totally do that.
Oh yeah.
But no, I'm actually saying that you have to understand that those cards you are going to sell at a loss. Like it's an easier like mental.
This is why I like to trade, because it doesn't feel like
it doesn't show up. Laird's like, I just got a ton of wash trades. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, did you lose money on that? No, man. I got a second tier Austrian guy that's going to start in 4 years. No,
I don't trade for those guys.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You trade for
Danish Superliga guys who immediately get benched.
Get benched or get hurt, right? But no, I think it really is like on the new season spectrum. Like if you go in and the plan is like, hey, I'm going to spend $300 on this card, and like if you almost want to think you have a spreadsheet, like this master spreadsheet I used to have, what I thought I could make off of a card. If you put in, I spent 300 and I'm going to get 150 back. Now I need to yield 150 plus with this card.
Right.
I think that's a different planning exercise than what a lot of people are doing right now.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely true. I wanted to pull up, who was it? Ben said in the old Sorare, Augustin Marcuson would have had 15 middle fingers in the last month. And so I just wanted to pull up, this is his limited graph over the last year, which
so limited, so
4 middle fingers, I guess.
And recently.
Yeah.
Because of that midweek.
I think, wasn't it that didn't he just start playing for Gremio?
I don't know. I know Sean has his card and he got it like backward the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think basically I hid the topic of this under the guise of degening, because it generally does look like degening when you're like
planning
buying cards for this midweek. But like there's a certain amount of skill that has to go into this game in order to like allow you to degen, if that makes sense.
Right. Will allow you the leash.
Right. Like your skill in this game gives you some of this like degen allowance where you're just like, I just need a lineup. I just need to buy a card. And because I've had success previously, so maybe it's actually not that degening is the skill. It's that skill allows for degening.
Ooh. But see, I think the funniest thing too is that for some people, just having to have a lineup is a degenerate thing to do. Like
just having the lineup?
I think I'm in enough circles that we share that if we were like if there was like a Discord room that says announce your plans, and I went 2 weeks ago, hey, I've got a plan. I'm going to stack up Japan for the next 2 game weeks during the international break because I love their matchups and I'm going to win. There are a lot of people that I even respect their opinion that would go, that's a little degenerate. Because what's the reasons? What's the reasons people always say with these plans? Oh, it's a midweek. The prizes are going to suck. Do you really think that you're going to be able to get your yield out of that before you're out? You're going to be stuck with those cards forever. But it's a good plan, right? If you were doing it early. Hell, what if the plan was I'm going to do it all and I'm going to sell them?
I don't know anyone who looks at Sorare like you do in that respect.
Which part?
Like
the buy the stuff to sell?
And I'll just get out of it at 60% and I'll move on. Like I really don't, like, you mention it all the time, including on this channel.
I just did. I just got off my soapbox a minute ago.
Yeah.
Saying 50%. I've gone down. I'm like Powell. I'm going the other way.
Oh man, this one that you just heat 14. You have no idea how much this is just salt in the wound to both of us here. Flipped a super rare Yarbrough from 60 to 300. Wanted to save for Prem in season in August, but found myself DJing.
Did I buy it? Did I buy it?
I was just about to say, which one of us bought that one?
Which one of us was it?
Oh. Hold on.
We have to know.
Oh, it was way after us. Don't worry. Oh, and they paid more. That's the worst. I would have sold for what you sold for.
$299 Laird would have sold.
Great news. There's another auction on the market right now. Peter said, Keith, if you want 100% of the card, do you just keep it? No. My degen self says the card is now free, so may as well keep it.
I love that. That sounds like Laird more than me. But no, I think I think kind of what you're saying with the skill though is always having the funds available. So once you're done with the card, be done with the card. Just be done.
Yeah.
You
Toby
know
has
the
some Yarbrough
freeing.
slander. I'm not even going to put it on the screen because I need to get out of my.
He's so
Yarbrough.
bad. He's so bad. But he always looks great in cat mode. That's how you know you're bad.
Cap
If
140, yeah.
If you always look good in cat mode, you suck.
I go in and I'm like, I know I have a lineup in Cap 240 because I have Yarbrough.
You know what's
I can
bad
play
for
whoever
me right
I
now?
want.
You know what's terrible for me in Super Rare? I'm like, oh man, all my goalies are terrible. I just have to pick which one, and for Super,
Yeah.
like they're all 39 or 40. That's a bad place to be. But no, like, welcome to the club. I did not do it. I just bought Indo 19 minutes before deadline. Something.
Right.
But no, I really do think though there is something freeing. I don't know if you've had this during your trades, but when I'm like, I have a card that I know I'm not going to use again, like ever, and I just get rid of him. I mean, it's just done. Like it's kind of nice just to be gone. And even if I took a nice little L on the card, it stings for a minute. Then it's like,
I don't even think it stings that long for you.
I don't even think it does either. I think I'm just relieved. I think I'm just relieved to get the offer and to have them gone. But I mean, like you kind of have that probably in trades, no? You don't dwell because you got your eyes on the prize, that new card that you were trading for that you decided was going to solve your woes.
So what the super benefit of trading is, just mentally for me, is I almost never care how much a card used to be worth. I just care, like the card I'm acquiring, whatever the value, whatever the cost is now, like that's the number in my head. But because I never had the card before, so there was never a point where I'm like, wow, this card is worth whatever. It's just like today, this is what it's worth. But the cards I'm getting rid of, I knew used to be worth 2x, and I'm like, man, it's just so when I go to sell it, I'm like, I used to be able to sell this card for $100, and now I can only sell it for $36. But if I can trade it for this $36 card that may have been worth $100 a while ago, I don't care. Then I'm like, oh, it's not bad.
I think some therapists might call that a degenerate mindset.
It might be. It might be. Major NFT, this is great. There are some cards I hate. Someone buy my Brian Acosta, please. Yeah.
Like I got a super rare too, buddy.
Yeah. So. Do you still have one?
Yeah. I mean, it went.
I had a Kellen Acosta super rare. Got rid of that.
That was a card alone. I heard how many conversations did you have about how much this guy sucks, how much you hate this guy.
So
and then you finally got an offer, if I remember right, above what you wanted, but it was still below your asking price, and I don't think you took it.
I don't have that card anymore. I traded that card away.
Right. You traded it, but you had like an ETH offer at one point.
I definitely had an offer. Yeah. Let me see. What did I do with that card? The worst was that's such a bad trade.
That's the best part about trading too, is that you don't realize
that Alessio Castro Montes was a reward.
Why was the trade bad?
Castro Montes and Kellen Acosta super and 0.055 ETH.
Okay, so that's more than. But I mean, at that time, look at like the valuation at that time. Guzman and you had
this was a fake. This is a fake valuation too. It was never worth that.
Right. But I'm just saying in terms of now, everything looks bad now.
Yeah,
everything looks bad when the price is trash.
So that Acosta card, the worst part of it is that I think the day that I got that offer, what did he had like a great game, and I was just like, it's like, when do you think this offer came in?
Right.
It was like right after this game, and I'm like, maybe he's turning the corner here.
He's so much worse than I ever expected.
And you were like, you got to just get out of that card. And I did.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hard part, though. I get, like, how much I get how hard it is. I mean, I still have the problem, too, like, that it's hard to sometimes click the button. But it is somewhat, like, what's the right word? Satisfying to just be gone, just to be done.
Peter said, my degen behavior. This is where we just start airing our degeneracy here. My degen behavior is paying 10 to 15% more for an instant buy an hour before lock because maybe, just maybe, I'll build a collection. I won't, but you've convinced myself I will.
So my favorite part of the Sorare degenerate mindset, which just is a skill, as we've established, is the justifications that we put ourselves through.
In terms of like what
all
we'll
the
do
different
later?
things that we say to ourselves to make it okay to do what we're about to do. Like just what Peter just said. Oh, this makes a lot of sense. I build a collection. I just paid more for the Endo old season versus new season because I'm like, maybe I could sell it to somebody that wants a Liverpool version. Dude, it's a $6 card. What was the difference between paying $6.20 versus $4.70?
Do you want to know the best difference now? There's no such thing as in season anymore.
Right, I know. Well, but he has a Liverpool badge on the one.
Right. Well, I think that's different. I do think that's different.
I am going through the degenerate mindset. It's spinnable. You got that. There's more Liverpool fans than Stuttgart fans.
I thought you said spendable, like somebody would spend money on it. And I'm like, all right, that's spinnable. You can spin the
Liverpool badge.
I don't think you're wrong about that.
Do you know what the best part is? Oh my God. I'm sitting there looking through the endos and it's only like 19 minutes. So I'm paying whatever people are listing. There's not enough time to send an offer out. And no, for the people out there, I don't like talking on Discord about deals. It's just icky to ask for more. I'd rather just send the offer, duck my head down, pretend I don't exist. But the first thing I did as I was doing all those, looking through all the prices, saw if any of them are jersey mints.
Of course.
But why? Why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Malky just brought that up. Paying more for jersey mints or number ones and then deciding to sell the floor or worse is big degen behavior. Done it so many times, so hard to resist. I'm always just astonished when people sell jersey mints or one-ofs to bots because I'm like, you are literally finding the worst possible person for that card.
But there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get another offer for that jersey.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
But in your head, you have now instilled a premium on that card because it's a jersey mint.
Yeah.
I went through this stage where I thought it was a good idea. It was like right as everything was crashing too. But I was like, I'm just going to start trying to like swoop up jersey mint, like limited and rares I never have.
Ruben Diaz has entered the chat.
But there was
220 boy I saw.
Dude, the funniest thing is
speaking of Endo.
What happened? Oh,
I said, speaking of Endo, I want to pull up this lineup that you decided to buy that Endo card for.
Oh, so somebody's going to show me the DNP nice and early.
No. But just the absurdity of this lineup that you have a captain Ruben Diaz and a Dusan Tadic in cap 220, and you bought this Endo card for it.
Oh, and I told you 40 minutes before that too. This Valdez card is annoying the crap out of me because he's a 0 cap hit. He's like 99% Sorare data prediction. People thinking that he's going to start for the Dominican Republic, probably get smashed, and I'm like, And then literally the Endo card came. I made my lineup. I'm like, God, I have a Diaz. I have a Tadic unused. I have a 0 goalkeeper unused. This would be a crime if I did not go buy a card. 20 is better than 0.
It is. Oh, no.
That Ruben Diaz card.
I got rid of Reynoso. Oh, no. We want Reynoso now.
So that Ruben Diaz card, speaking of degenerate, it is like a daily reminder when I see that card of like the worst set of degeneracy. I built a Man City collection because of that bleeping card. And you know what the best part of the Man City collection was? Whoa. Can we talk about the best part of the Man City collection was? I didn't buy any good players. I bought John Stones, Nathan Ake. Like, what the fuck is that? What is that?
I mean, it's 3 jersey mints. That's fun.
That's what started a Kovacic jersey. Might
be able to get De Bruyne cheap soon.
Right. For the collection, of course. For the collection. Not for all his merits. You got to love a collection where you have like the best player on the platform. You have like one of the best young players on the platform, and you end up with Kovacic, Ake, and freaking Shrek.
I would argue that the collection degeneracy is way worse.
It's so bad when you get the bug. Holy shit. I get the bug for a collection, and I go like, if I end up having time, I go so deep. Like I start filtering. I start doing the filters, see all the number ones. I know the couple guys that swoop up all the number ones, and I just look for anybody else that's
Fucking
not
doppelganger. The I think it actually goes back to what we were saying before, that the skill allows the degeneracy. Like, I think your Brad Knighton allowed
Give
you
me a long leash, man. It gave me a long leash because, like, and this is, I don't like talking about myself going to just because, but I want to make a point of it. That's what's like so insane and amazing about this game, even now with where we're at, because those Brad Knightons, just that happened. I ended up like actually building some players together after that, and I end up getting fourth in All-Star shortly after that, like the team that I built because of that, which won me a card that I sold, bought some more, was very fortunate to win underdog, right? And then all of a sudden you're gone.
You're gone, yeah. Total exponential, yeah.
Your exponential growth. You were like here, and then you were like just chilling, just trying to survive. Boop, boop. And
just takes one.
Guess what? You can still do it. I know everybody's like, oh, but like literally you could come together with a plan with $100 or $200 to put something together, bink it, and then just go. Now, of course, there's a lot of luck in it, right? There's a lot of luck and fortune, degeneracy, scouting, all these parts. You don't like the luck word, do you?
No, sorry, that it was completely unrelated to that. It was actually the comments in the chat about collection degeneracy. And I want to take back what I said. I actually don't think it was Quinny. Not everyone can play every game, and variety is the key to success, meaning like collection building, I think, is part of this game. And it doesn't just have to be because of more points that you get in SO5. And so that if you can turn your success into like bigger collections, like you do you.
Right. I think though, I'm going to defend you on one thing. The collection itch is like one of the biggest degenerate itches on this platform. Because getting jersey mints, number ones, like rookie cards, seeing this score, this collection score go up, it can be addicting.
I would even argue, because I tend to do it, I tend to make collections the worst possible way of doing older ones. So you like need the special cards, but even like cards, like you just become familiar with cards that just like don't trade that much. I mean, we've talked about this, that like, and then one comes up and you're like, I have to have that.
Got to do it. You know what?
Says, I just bought 3 1 of 100 Columbus cards last night because I saw them on the market. I only own 4 Columbus cards.
And this is where he tells me it's like Evan Bush, Alexander Matan. I'm gonna save up for that Cucho, guys. Don't worry. But I had to get that Evan Bush when it was out there.
In fairness, I do remember someone building a Columbus Crew collection thanks to Lucas Zelleraian, who obviously is now. Well, I guess
I have an announcer in my lineup because of that collection. Thank you very much, Bradley Wright Phillips. You can enter the chat.
Amazing.
You gotta love the random though offer for a retired guy in your gallery, just because then you know what it was for. But you still go on Twitter like, is Bradley Wright Phillips coming back?
Is he coming back?
Is he? Let me make sure.
Yeah, it's like a picture with Sasha Kleshtin, and you're like, oh yeah, he doesn't play either. Peter said, when I see a bunch of rookie cards, I get degenerate. Oh, it's so easy to get that collection score. I have to have it.
I do think the best part of a collection thing, and we just talked to Tuggy that he did this too, was when you buy all, like my city thing, when you buy all the crappy play, like you have one good card, you build a collection on it, and you're like, I'm gonna wait for those good cards until the end when I get the score a little bit higher. I'll add the goalkeeper, the set piece taker, the goal scoring four. I'll add them later. I'm just gonna chill here with my guys over here.
I mean, I would argue that is the optimal way to build a collection and the nut low in terms of optimal scale of getting the biggest SO5 benefit from that collection.
You know, the worst part is like on collections and just in season in general too. The realization that every game week that you wait to do something on is like 1 week less that you have to gain it back. That's why I'm getting like on the in-season side, I'm like really trying hard when I submit a good in-season lineup. If I have like 3 or 4 really good players that are in good spots, it's like, okay, to me, I have to buy a good player for this lineup because I only have, I have 2 Messis, right? I only have this Messi's for too much longer. I got to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can. And that's probably a degeneracy in itself. But again, like I kind of said with the whole night thing, like sometimes all you need is one to catapult all of this, especially now that we're getting so top heavy.
As they say, it only takes one. I'm trying to. So Braden said it was Arfston, Zwidaski, who I owned, and Yaboa. Luckily, Cucho was the card I already had.
Okay.
This is the collection here.
Yeah.
So
1.5 usable cards there.
But like, I think Keith and I would actually argue this is optimal collection building. Like you had Cucho.
Yep.
And you found 3 one-ofs that boosted him to 2% already.
And now you just go, if I can find like a jersey mint of, I keep joking on Evan Bush, but that's probably a good example, or some, the key, and we've done this before on Collection Time only, if you can see if Columbus has a rookie card that of a guy that like never plays and be the first owner, you don't even have to be a jersey mint, but if you be a first to own rookie card, there you go. Go find yourself a full. Yeah, if you can get both of those on like Instabuy or auction really low, it's you double dip.
I was also going to show this. I really don't want to show this to people, but like people know that it exists, so I'm going to do it anyway. So this was the live market. It works on auctions and offers. I don't even know if one will come up, but if you were looking for Columbus Crew rares, and maybe there's a jersey mint coming up on the market, you can use our price filter card edition. Not going to be good for.
Why don't you go? Oh yeah, we can do this too.
Columbus Crew jersey mint, and we want.
You know what's funny? I've never used this filter for secondary market. I never saw the offers button there. Well done.
Oh wait, I don't think I put this one in. Here we go. Sorry. Or it's just not working, and none out there.
But
you can also
let's just do the one other one that we were mentioning. Go back to auctions. Let's do Columbus Crew, and let's just do rookie cards and see if any of those guys are coming up.
Well, you got the one of Morris and Rossi on the secondary market if you want them. And then you can see the floor.
They don't give you as much of a collection boost though. Like that, like those are great cards to have because those are two of the guys you want to boost as like 2 of the better scorers on the team. But just purely for like ROI to boost the collection, that getting the rookie card guys. So getting that.
Oh yeah, here he is.
Yeah, sells normally for $13 ish, $13.73.
No way. No way.
See, that was the deal there. But then again, so you're going to get 40 points for being first owned, and then you're going to get another 40 for being special edition. But that's the ones you don't want to buy in the secondary market either, because you want that double dip.
Yeah. So if we could all just back away and let Braden have this card. Can we agree as a Sorare community? Looks like you got a battle though.
This is where you go look at the instant buy too, make sure that it just isn't worth paying like $2 more to not have to sweat out.
Good point.
I've never heard of this guy, and I follow the crew. Never.
Yeah.
Okay, so instant buy is 1847. I mean, that might be too much for what you want to do, but I like to always have that queued up over there and just go. Okay.
I mean, you can wait. You can wait for the jersey, man. How many is he?
Hey, Deke, let's delete that for our man over here, and you can drop that inside knowledge at another time. Deke's over here pumping the guy we'd never heard of.
U19 call up when the U19s are covered. They were CONCACAF U19 is definitely next up on the list of things they need to cover.
Is Cruz Medina there too? Can I get back some utility for my overpay?
My gosh. It's always worth paying more not to sweat. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Tuggy has entered the chat. Tuggy, rewind about 55 minutes. There's a whole section about you.
I like this point. Mulkey said buying 16 to 17-year-old potential stars, which, by the way, nobody's calling this kid a potential star. He just happens to play on the Columbus
Hold
crew.
on. Deke is.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Buying 16 to 17-year-old potential stars and gambling on their future performance and the future existence of Sorare is a pretty big degen behavior as well.
Yeah, we love doing it, Mulkey. There are people out there that literally buy up all these guys because of their potential. I love that second part, though. It's like a double bet. Yeah. Not only are you betting the kid that you're right, but that you're betting about where the Sorare economy is going to be at that time.
Yeah. Well, now that we've gotten to the betting part of the conversation, we should just go. The next.
Now that we got the true degenerate, the true degenerate behavior that's been coming out. Now we need to leave.
Now that Tuggy's here, we should go.
Oh, the California crew woke up. We're out. Surface and Tuggy are like just starting to get my coffee. We're like, and we're out.
And we're good. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny, who literally with one live chat comment made me completely flip on the degeneracy of collections. Thank you, Quinny. Thank you very much. Go over to Quinny3001, subscribe, watch all his videos as well. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I don't know if we ended up emphasizing as much what I wanted to talk about today, the whole like just continue playing, but I think where we went was much better. So yeah. Do I want to do this? I'll do it. If you want to leave a comment below with your most degenerate move on Sorare, please share and we can just talk about it next time. So we're getting very close to having a new show called DTO, Degenerate Time Only, where we all just air our own degeneracy. But anyway, thank you to everybody. And we'll see you around.